The Secret History of Chinese Takeout. Hello, my dears, and welcome. Why Chinese takeout everything is fried. Come closer, settle in. Today, we are not just talking about dinner. We are talking about history served on a plate. We are talking about that familiar, comforting box of Chinese takeout that lands on your counter every Friday night. Have you ever truly looked at it? Egg rolls, crispy noodles, that glistening sweet and sour chicken. Everything seems to be golden brown, doesn't it? For us here in America, Chinese food is synonymous with that perfect savory crunch. But I want you to consider this. The culinary traditions of China stretch back longer than the entire history of Rome. This is a civilization with thousands of gentle, nuanced cooking methods. Slow braising, delicate steaming. So, why did their most famous dishes end up sizzling in hot oil? It wasn't a whim, sweeties. It is a brilliant 5,000-year-old story of survival, necessity, and sheer culinary genius. Let's uncover the secrets hidden beneath that golden crust. First, the gentle beginnings and the call for more flavor. Chinese cooking history is vast, nearly 5 millennia of innovation. In the beginning, the focus was on respect, gentle boiling and steaming. This was about preserving the ingredients' natural essence, cooking slowly and thoughtfully. But human nature craves that next level of taste, that upgrade. And that's when the technique of frying began its slow, steady integration into the kitchen. Even the ancient masters recognized its power. Early writings confirmed that frying in oil maximizes the flavor of the ingredients, delivering a powerful punch that other methods couldn't match. It was a shift in preference, too. Even the great Confucius, the ultimate wise man, once enjoyed thinly sliced raw fish sashimi, a practice documented until the Song dynasty. Yet today, even the freshest vegetables are usually quickly stir-fried or lightly kissed by oil. Why such a massive change? The answer lies deeper than flavor alone. Second, frying as sophistication and strategy. By the time the Ming and Qing dynasties arrived, frying was no longer just a trick. It was a sophisticated technique that absorbed regional spices and enriched the food. But the techniques that stick around for centuries usually have a practical backbone, and frying had three major advantages. First, there was speed and efficiency. In a world without instant delivery or microwaves, high heat cooks things fast. Frying locks in nutrients and flavor instantly. Think of it as getting your meal ready in 5 minutes. That speed was absolutely crucial for daily life. We must acknowledge the irresistible texture. Let's be honest, we love the crunch. That satisfying textural contrast is universally appealing, whether you are 16 or 60. Finally, and perhaps most importantly in the past, was preservation power. Before we had reliable refrigeration, food spoilage was a constant threat. Fried foods, thanks to that protective oil coating, historically lasted longer on the shelf. It was a massive life-saving win against food waste. Third, the deep roots of oil necessity over luxury. My sweet ones, the reason oil became king in Chinese cooking isn't just because it tastes amazing. It's a brilliant, necessary solution, born from where people lived and how they survived. The water problem washing away the earth. This is perhaps the most surprising historical secret, and it's rooted in geography. It all starts with the water. Much of China's water, especially centuries ago, was loaded with lime and suspended silt. It tasted earthy. Think of the worst tasting well water you've ever had. When you boil or steam methods that use tons of worst tasting well water, you could never fully get rid of that funky smell. So the cooks became ingenious. They used strong spices, rich broths, or the ultimate fix, they used oil. When you dip food into extremely hot oil, that oil acts like a high-powered magnet, separating and washing away those impurities and that earthy smell right off the surface of the food. It was a high-heat purification bath. Now our modern tap water is pristine, but our taste buds are still hardwired to crave that rich, strong flavor oil provides. Climate and fuel economy. The energy crisis of the past. The environment played a huge role, especially when winters were brutal. Civilization began in the Lurs Plateau, a dry region where people needed diets rich in fat. Just to stay warm, and strong fat was survival fuel. Furthermore, during long cold snaps centuries ago, fuel for heating and cooking was precious. Boiling and steaming require a lot of sustained, slow-burning fuel. But frying, it requires a much shorter, intense burst of heat to get the food cooked. For centuries, frying was the most economical cooking method. It saved precious wood and coal. The farmer's necessity, speed, and calories. China has always been a society built on farming, and for farmers, time equals production. If you work sun-up to sundown, you need dinner ready now. Stir-frying or deep-frying meant a dish could be ready in just 2 to 3 minutes, a massive time saver compared to waiting hours for a stew. Plus, oil meant energy. The high calories were vital for keeping farmers going through hard physical labor. It was their high-octane fuel, and as a bonus, fried food keeps better, meaning leftovers could be tossed back in the hot oil for a fresh taste. The peanut oil revolution. The perfect medium. For frying to take over the cooking. Medium, the oil had to be cheap and plentiful. While animal fats were used early on, plant oils were the game changer. Peanut oil arrived around the 4th century and became common by the 10th century Song dynasty. It was perfect. And here's a neat trick. Unlike water, peanut oil can reach temperatures over 300 C without boiling away. Think of it like a phone battery that never overheats. It's the ideal medium for high-heat stir-frying. This was perfectly paired with the development of the wok, that deep, high-sided pan which distributed heat evenly and quickly. It's the ultimate cooking tool. Fourth, the modern echoes of ancient habits. This deep cultural love for frying has persisted, becoming a touchstone in modern life, often joked about today. There is a funny running joke in Chinese culture about how much fried food they eat. The joke goes, the Chinese will even fry their shoes. It's an exaggeration, of course, but it shows how central frying is to the national identity. This technique isn't just for dinner. Entrees, you can find fried vegetables, seafood, and even sweet treats like fried bananas sold as popular street snacks all over China. The importance of cooking oil is still huge today. People joke that in China they tolerate rising gasoline prices more easily than rising cooking oil prices. It's so valued that you often see massive multi-packs of oil sold, and sometimes when you buy a new cell phone, they give you a 5-liter jug of cooking oil as a free gift. Can you imagine getting a free gallon of olive oil with your new iPhone? My dears, Chinese fried food is far more than just a cooking method. It is a delicious artifact of history, a clever adaptation to climate, and a necessity born from agricultural life. The next time you open that familiar takeout box, I want you to pause for a moment and appreciate the journey from the need to clean up bad-tasting water to the efficiency required by ancient farmers, all leading to that perfect, savory crunch in your hand. Confucius once said, "No one dislikes food, but few know the true taste of food." Imagine what he would think now, seeing how the magic of the wok and sizzling oil has brought flavor and joy to millions around the world. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed learning why your takeout is so good, please give this a like and subscribe so you don't miss our next culinary adventure. See you next time. Have a nice day.